Hello everyone, welcome back to Study Room. So my name is Vidhi, and since you know I've been teaching you biology, and this is our new chapter, which is cell structure and function. So before moving into details, so the basics knowledge about cell is the building block of life. This is the mantra which you have to learn. So cell is the building block of life. Every living creature is made up of cell. Even humans are made up of cell. We have billions of cells. Even in this tiniest finger there are billions of cells. So cells are the building block of our life. So I hope you'll find this chapter very interesting. So here is an activity. So you have to observe the things which are living or non-living and make a list out of them. So the things which grows near your area, the trees, the cars you see, the bikes you see, the bicycles you see, or the camera, the phone, you have to categorize them into living and non-living. And it's very easy. Living means the thing which are breathable and which have certain internal processes. For example, us, we have metabolization, we have digestion, excretion. So you have to observe them, you have to see what makes them living and what makes them non-living. So all living organisms have different sets of organs which carry out certain basic functions. For example, in us, digestion process is carried with the help of liver, intestine, pancreas, metabolization, brain is functioning, heart is performing the function of circulation. So you have to list them out. For example, brain. See, what is the function of brain helps us in the connection, the nerves connection. And heart is for circulation, blood circulation in our body. Then you have to find out about liver, then pancreas, then intestine, gallbladder. So you have to list them out and make a list of functions of it, and it's very easy. Now, coming back to our main topic, cell. Cell is the basic structural unit of an organ. Cells may be compared to bricks. For example, bricks. The house is made up of bricks. So, the brick is a cell if we are considering the housing terminologies. But if you are considering a living organism or an organ, the organ which is made up by is cell. Cell is the basic structural unit. So, for example, this is your organ, for example. So what is this made up of? It has small many cells. So similarly, cells are assembled to make the body of every organism. So cells makes organs, cell makes tissues make organs, and organs make organ system. So there is cell, there is tissue, then there is organ, and then there is organ system. So this is the simplest basic structure of an organ. This is the highest complex procedure or terminologies you may say. So this is organ system. So this is simplest. When we proceed, it become complex. So the discovery of cell, who discovered this particular structure which makes every living organism? So it was Robert Hooke in 1665. He was observing the cork. Cork is the dead tissue of the cell. You can say the branch of the tree, and when you'll cut it, you can obtain the cork out of it. So cork is dead. I'm telling you here only, cork is the dead part of the bark of the tree. So he took the thin slices of the cork. Cork is made up from bark, and he observed them under the microscope. So you can see here is the structure of cork. It has heat wood, it has sap wood, it has vascular cambium, phloem, coke cambium, coke. So living phloem plus coke cambium make periderm. So these are the tissues. We'll learn about this in very much detail. So you can see vascular cambium, heat wood. There are two types of wood, heat wood and sap wood. So heat wood is present in the interior part and sapwood is outside of it. And you can see here it's a compound microscope. Compound microscope is used to observe microorganisms or the simplest form of organisms in a much broader and magnified way. He noticed partition boxes or compartments in the cork slides. So he saw that in that particular cork, he could see the compartments or the boxes. So he named those boxes or compartments a cell. So here you can see a cork, and you can see different sort of circular structure in it. So these you can count that, you cannot count, it's infinite here, there are many cells. These boxes appear like a honeycomb structure to him. So he compared this to honeycomb structure. He also noticed that one box was separate from the another by a wall. So even this, you can imagine, for example, these are cell. You can imagine. So you can see that this hexagonal structure has a boundary to it, a wall to it. And that wall in the cell is called cell membrane. We'll be learning about cell membrane further. But each box or each compartment was named as a cell. Fun fact, what Hooke observed as boxes or cells in the cork were dead cells. So it was not living, it was dead, because the cork or the bark is the dead tissue. Now we observe these particular tissues under the microscope. So it's important to learn about the role of microscope. So cells of living organism could be observed only after the discovery of improved microscopes. If we didn't have microscope, we would not be able to pursue such experiments, and you can see how fast our technologies are inculcating with the biology. So we have certain technology which is helping us to generate many experiments which are helping us for the human welfare. So very little was known about the cell for next 150 years after Robert Hooke observations, because there was no technology. For example, when Robert Hooke discovered this in 1660 era, so after 150 till 150 years after the discovery, it remains very minuscule in amount. The knowledge was not shared because the technology was not there. Today we know a lot about cell structures and its magnification. We can see any cell or any smallest tiniest particles under the microscope for enhancing and for seeing its characteristics. So this is all possible because of microscope. The comparisons between bricks and cell. So both bricks in the building and cells in the living organisms are basic structure. Bricks in the buildings and cells in the organic organisms. The buildings, though built of similar bricks, have different designs, shapes and sizes. Similarly, in the living world, organisms differ from one another. Every organism have different sort of cells. Cells in living organisms are somewhat complex than the other organisms, and but there is a major difference here. Bricks are non-living and cell is living. So this is the major difference here. So cell is living and cell will have its own components in it. Bricks is just a matter of sand, silt. It's a piece of box, you can see, non-living box, but cell is a living box. A very interesting question. A hen's egg can be seen easily. Is it a cell or a group of cells? So think about it before knowing the answer. The answer is written here, but please think about it. So when you see a hen's egg, will you be considering it a cell or a group of cells? So the answer is the egg of a hen represent a single cell. So cell can be of various sizes, various shapes, various structures. So the hen egg is a single cell, a bigger single cell, and it is big enough to be seen through our unaided eyes or naked eyes. We cannot observe this under the microscope because we can see it with our eyes only, but it is a single cell. So here we come to an end of this video. This video was basically about the cell. Cell is the basic building blocks of our life. Cell can be of various structures, various shapes, and the cell can only be present in the living organisms. And this was about it. I'll see you in the next video. I hope you know what is cell now. So thank you.